Hello, everybody. My name is Kim Ross-Hollingsworth, and I'm the founder of the Arts and Authors Extravaganza. And we are here with Arts and Authors Talk, and we are featuring a special guest today. Her name is Desha Henfield. But meanwhile, I just wanted to tell everyone about the Arts and Authors Extravaganza that's coming out. It's actually coming up August 21st from 3 to 9 p.m. And it's going to be at the Doubletree in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And we have about 60 authors and artists that will be participating. They're going to be showcasing their work with us. And anyone who comes and state that they have seen the show, the Arts and Author Talk show, they can come in for free. And if you have any questions about that, we will have the information at the bottom of the post. But this podcast is for me to get to learn and find out more information about the authors and artists who I've come in contact with, or who I've come in, graced the stage of the Arts and Authors Extravaganza. But right now, I just wanted to introduce you to author Desha Henfield. Hey,
Hello.
Desha.
Hi, how are you?
How you doing?
I'm good.
Oh, that's good. So, Desha, please tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, my name is Desha Henfield. I also go by a pseudonym of Nora Sister, which is what I normally write my poetry under. I am a speaker. I am an author. I am a poet. I am a life encourager. And I am the mother of two. I have two children and two grandchildren. And I come from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And on top of all that, I served in the military. So I'm a Navy veteran as well.
Yes. Well, you wear a lot of hats, I see.
Indeed.
And I know, well, you're from Philadelphia. So hopefully you can come to the Arts and Authors just to see who's all there and everything. You didn't get a table this year, did you? Or did you?
I sure did. I got a table. I'll be there. Right. And I just ordered my banner too. I got a banner that's gonna be there too. So I'm gonna be there. Live and in person.
I can't wait. We have so many people that are coming out this year, new people. And we have a lot of old people that's coming out too. But it's so interesting, and it makes a difference when we keep attracting new authors and artists. So yes. I am so glad that you're going to be a part of, the night. It's going to be really, really fun.
I'm excited.
So, what inspired you to write? Like, how many books do you have so far? Tell us about that.
I have two published. One is my own, which is my poetry book, Sanctum Life, Love, and Poetry. And then I'm also part of an anthology where Dr. Tamika Hall is the visionary author for that. And it's a 28-day devotional titled The Purpose in My Pain. Also, I was part of another anthology that has not been released yet, so I won't, give a title for that one. And I have some more book stuff coming out, so we'll get into that later. But yeah, so a couple of books, and I started writing, which was the original question. I am a journaler. I believe in journaling. Anybody that knows me can tell you, you get in the journal from me as a gift at some point in your life, if you know me.
Yes.
I believe in writing because it helps us to get healing. It helps us to release and not keep everything in. Even if you don't share it with anyone, I really encourage people to begin to write down your feelings and your thoughts.
I do. I agree with that. And I always encourage the same exact thing. That's what got me through like many years, is by writing and getting thoughts off. People always ask, well, why are you so excited all the time? Why are you? That's because I have no stress. It's like, no, I have stress, but not as much. Okay. Writing is very therapeutic. And a lot of people don't realize that writing, you can release. It releases that anxiety. It releases your thoughts. It releases your anger. People don't understand that just writing it out. And if you don't want, I always tell people, if you do not want anybody else to see it, Roll
Yes.
it up and throw it in the trash afterwards. Rip it
Mm-hmm.
up. But get
Yes.
it out on paper to get it out of your mind and out of your body so that you can
Yes.
release that anxiety. That's what
Yes.
people need to do. And they don't realize that it helps to do that. So
Indeed.
I'm glad you said that because it makes a difference.
It really does. It really does.
So Shell says, so excited to hear this chat. Thank you for joining us. Thank you all for joining us. I can't see who, and that's one thing that I was telling you about before, Desha.
Mm-hmm.
We can't see everybody and
Okay.
the comments that everyone's making. So
Mm-hmm.
somebody said, "Hey, Queen," but I don't know who it is. But hey, right back to you,
Yeah. Hello.
Shell. Do you know Shell?
Yes. Yes. She's one of the
Shell
other
said
co-authors
hello.
from The Purpose in My Pain.
Yeah.
And I mentioned Dr. Hall in the many books that she wrote. She's also in another one of Dr. Hall's books. So yes,
Wow.
I know her, and I'm just blessed to know her.
That's so cool. I love it. And
Hey,
Mercy
Mercy.
said,
That's
good evening, everyone.
yes. I'm
And
thank God for the support because I know her too. She's another co-author. Thank you guys for showing up. I
Shantae,
appreciate it.
she said hello as well. Do you know Shantae?
I probably know Shantae too. Listen,
Oh,
I,
that
I'm,
is so
I'm
wonderful. Well,
I'm
I
grateful
thank
for
you all for
everyone that
joining
shows
us.
up.
That's right. Because I wanted to know more about you, Desha. So please tell us about your first book, your
Inner Sanctum
the
Life,
first
Love, and
the
Poetry.
poetry.
So this is the book, and it's Inner Sanctum Life, Love, and Poetry. And so this book is birthed out of years of just writing poetry down and speaking to friends of mine about it. I always kept my poetry to myself. I never was one to really share it because it's personal.
Yes.
These poems are either I listen. The way I work is either if I'm in love, out of love, or going through something, whatever. That's how these poems came about. I got a couple in here about how much I love the Lord as well. So it says on the back of this, it says inner sanctum is a reflection of life's ups, downs, joys, and pains mixed with a bit of tears and laughter as seen through one woman's eyes and soul, which is this woman and this soul. However, what I will say about this book, and I always think back to one person I was at work had shared about me writing this book, and I shared it with a coworker of mine. And so we sitting in her office and we're talking. And she starts crying. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, what's going on? She was reading the book, but she was reading one of the poems in here, and it's called Daddy's Little Girl. And once
Mm,
she read it, she said it reminded her of her daughter and her daughter's situation with her father.
wow.
And so at that point, I said, God, I knew I did the right thing just by getting it out there, but just if you can affect one person,
That's
then
right.
it
You
was
did
all
your
worth it.
That's
And
right.
seeing that reaction to that poem, like I was like, wow, somebody needed to read that. That was somebody else's feelings. And although God just used me to get it out, because in reality, that particular poem was not from my standpoint. It was really, I was thinking of my daughter at the time, and
Yes.
I wrote it from that standpoint. So
Exactly. Well,
yeah,
that's one of the great things about poetry is you can always find something out of
mhm.
someone else's poetry that you can relate to.
Yes, yes,
Something. Now,
yes,
what inspired you to write? What made you write that first book? Like you said that you always wrote poetry, but
yeah.
what made you want to actually publish it?
Because I used to, when I did share with people, they always said, girl, that should be on a t-shirt, or you
Mhm.
should work for Hallmark, or things like that. So,
Mhm.
and I had one friend of mine, I would show her like all the little poems I had, and one day she took it upon herself in my house. One day I had them just sitting around. She started putting them in order. She started organizing them. She
Wow.
said, you about them, this going to be your book. I said, no, it's not. Yes, it is. And so she really, that's what it was. She was the catalyst to me actually putting it
Yes.
out there for others to really share in that. And so it was
That
a friend.
is
God used a friend to get me to do what he's been telling me to do all along.
Yes. Now, here's a question for you because I actually have a client that I was working with. She was writing her book of poetry. So you said that your friend actually started putting the poems together. So how did you go about, how was she putting them together? Because I encouraged her to try to put like her happy poems together, her sad poems together. You know, I was trying to get her to organize them in certain categories. So what was your focus? What did she do to help you get your book done? And
Now,
Halen,
what I mean by together is I just had them scattered around and didn't have them in no organization. She didn't put them into category because in the book they're not in category. I have them alphabetically for the most part in the book. So there's not like these are the God poems and these are the sad poems and these are the love poems. They're all mixed up together in the book. But what she did was she started saying, okay, you got that in the drawer, you got that in the closet, you got this in the
you felt like on the five heartbeats with the guy
just
was
exactly like the five heartbeats.
digging stuff.
Let me get that piece of paper out the trash. Wait a minute. Yeah, wait a minute. It was exactly like that. But so we put it together, and then what she did, because some things were torn, she really did. Like she helped me type them up and get them organized in the computer versus on the paper. And so that's how we did it. That's how I did it. And I just her name was Robin. And I really just appreciate Robin for doing that because she was the catalyst to me getting this book out.
That is awesome. Well, first of all, Linda says she met you before in person.
She's friends with one of my close girlfriends. Yes.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Well, Linda has a table there at the event as well. So she's going to be there. And Shell said it makes it fun to read, I guess, a book of poetry when you have it all mixed in there, you know, sad to and I agree, Shell. That's pretty interesting. I like that too, because you never know what you're going to get.
Exactly.
You know? So I like that, Shell. Thank you for sharing that. And don't know what you're going to get when you read. Love it. It does make sense. And I guess with poetry, you can do that because poetry is just, you know.
It's subjective. It's subjective.
Right. It really is.
And the thing is, if you've been through a certain situation and you read a certain type of poem, you can feel that and you can relate to that. And I'm one of them people, I could be sitting and I could sit across the table from you. Me and you could be talking about something and I'll be quiet and I'll just start writing. And I can write a poem about what we talked about. I have a poem in here that I wrote because of my cousin. We were talking and he was going through something in his marriage and it was like a disconnect. And I wrote about it. I made a poem about it.
You know, that's a gift. It really is a gift. I'm serious.
I do. I didn't used to think of it like that, but it is. It is a gift.
It really is a gift because a lot of people, I know I can't do it. You know, it takes a special person that can just sit there and come up with something that quick, you know? So I appreciate that. Can you read me the back of that book that you have?
Of the poetry book?
The poetry book. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I read to you. That's what I read.
That's what you read?
That was the back, what I read in the back. That's the back of the book.
Nice. Now, what about your second book, the one that you have for the collaboration?
That's this book right here. And like I said, Dr. Tamika
What's the name of that one?
It's called The Purpose in My Pain. It's a 28-day devotional written by a woman of purpose. And it was compiled by Dr. Tamika Hall, who Dr. Hall, I can't say enough about her. She has several books.
Wow.
And she helps, I don't know how many people, you know, get their books out there as well. But what she does is she doesn't just have you join and be a part of her anthology. She pours into you and you begin to have a sisterhood, you know. And so The Purpose in My Pain, I'm telling you, these women that shared in this devotional.
Tell us about it. Tell us about it. And read the back of that book for me if you can.
Read the front.
Do they turn the book around? The opposite way. To back.
That's all of
Okay,
the
that's
various
all of
women.
you. So inside the book, tell us what the book is about.
Okay, so inside of the book, each woman tells a different story.
Okay.
It could be dealing with depression. It could be dealing with trauma,
Mm,
various types of trauma. I wrote about forgiveness in
nice.
my chapter. I could tell you specifically
Yes.
about my
Tell me.
chapter.
Tell me.
In my chapter, I wrote about forgiveness. I wrote about forgiving my mother. I wrote about forgiving my ex-husband, and I wrote about forgiving some people that caused me trauma when I was in the military.
Wow.
I'm a survivor of MST. And so I don't go into detail about what that is and stuff, but I do talk about forgiving them because I know you've heard it before. Many people hear, oh, forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. And
Right.
in reality, that's the truth
It is.
because we carry around weights
It
all the
is.
time. We carry around the bondage of whether it is you not thinking you're good enough or the traumas of a childhood, not
Yep.
feeling like you were loved enough, whatever.
Yep.
All that actually is baggage that attaches to us. And I'm part of a mentorship program too with Dr. Hall. And one of the things we talked about was letting go of the weight, letting go of the weight.
Yes.
And so procrastination is a weight.
It
It
is.
holds you
It is.
down. I'm a big procrastinator.
And you can learn that from people too, like our moms or our dads.
Yeah.
We can learn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it really is a weight.
Yes,
That's
it
weighing
is.
us down.
Yeah. And so you just got to learn how to let that go. But back to the book, it's again inside this book is 28 amazing stories by 28
Mhm.
amazing women who I
Wow.
believe through the process of writing, it allowed them to take a mirror and look at themselves. And
Mhm.
maybe by looking at their reflection, we're able to erase some things, let go of some things, move past some things, and
Or
begin the
learn
process of
some
healing
things.
and or learn some things that may help to elevate them. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
That's right.
So if nothing else, it planted the seed. It planted the
Mhm.
seed.
We carry
So
around dumbbells, Linda said. It's true because when I
yeah.
first wrote my memoir,
Mm-hmm.
when I was writing, I actually was thinking to myself, like, dang, you really went through all this? You like, how did you allow yourself to go through this? But I guess I tell you one thing, by me writing
Mm-hmm.
what I wrote, I know that there was some things that I knew I was never going to repeat again. So
Okay.
when you said
Yes.
that you learn things, you really do.
Mm-hmm.
Certain things you learn, I learned my likes, my dislikes, things that I didn't even know I knew,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah,
know.
many of us don't take the time to learn that. I it took me. Listen, I'm a big advocate. I'm a mental health advocate too. I did not go to school for it, but I am one based on life
Nice.
experience. Okay,
That's right.
and when I actually was seeing a therapist, when she asked me one time, "What do I like?" I was like, "I don't know."
She asked you, what do she like?
No, what do I
Or she
like?
asked you, what do you
What I like?
see?
What
I'm
did I
telling
like?
you,
I honestly couldn't tell her what I
didn't know.
like, and it's because because of my trauma, I sat in depression for 25 years, maybe 30 years.
Mm,
And
mm,
it was functional depression because I still was raising my children. I still was going about life.
yeah.
However, I lost myself.
Yep.
So,
I did too.
I would get up in the morning, put on my clothes and put on my mask.
You felt like a zombie, didn't you? A zombie
Exactly.
walking. I was there.
Exactly.
I
I,
know.
I was existing. I was not living.
That's
And,
right.
and so when she asked me what I like, I don't know what I like because I haven't been living for the last 25 or 30 years. I don't know what I like, you
Yep.
know? But to speak to you, like what you were saying, sometimes we got to take the time to get to know us,
That's it.
you know?
That's
No
it.
other distractions, not worrying about the kids, not worrying about this thing or that thing, but just focusing on what do you like? What do Kim
That's
like?
it. Yep.
What makes Kim happy? You
I
know?
literally had to, because, okay, first of all, let me backtrack. The name of my first book was Nothing Beats a Failure But a Try, and it was a memoir about my three husbands. Well,
Okay.
anyway, I was married twice before I actually sat down and wrote down my likes, my dislikes, and all that stuff to find myself before I met my third husband.
Okay.
This is things that are very crucial that people do not do. And that's, you have to write your list out. There's a lot of people right now that never even have gone through trauma that still don't know what their likes are and what their dislikes are. So if there's anybody on here that's listening today, write down your likes and dislikes, please, so that you can find out exactly if it aligns with how you feel or what you're going through right now. It's very, very important. And I thank you, Linda, because Linda did read my book. She said reading Kim's book was very surprising to me, but was very therapeutic for me. And, because some of us are going through like different things within our relationships and everything. I didn't have to go through, or shall I say, really go through 3 husbands to find, if I would have just listened to the red flags or knew myself. I didn't know myself.
Exactly. That's big.
So if I would have known myself, I would not have gone through that. Even though we all know that we go through trials and tribulations to learn something and for a reason, but we can avoid certain situations. That's all I have to say about that.
Well, life is just one big lesson. Life is just one big lesson. And if we really pay attention and think about that, then we will all be better people. To segue back to the book, my chapter title is I Am.
Nice.
One thing that I want to say about that is I am a big I am statement person. I believe in the true power of I am. It takes a lot to get that's going to be one of my books I'm going to be working on is about I am and the power of I am statements. And one thing that I say a lot is that if you cannot say I am, if you have not reached the point where you can say I am and what you are, speak to what you are not until you are able to say what you are. You understand? Like, they say I am a lender, not a borrower. Well, how about I am not a borrower?
Yes.
If you're not ready to say I am a lender, I am not a borrower. Until you're able to say that I am, speak to what you are not and change that negative into a positive. Because there is
the narrative.
There's power in words, and it all starts with a thought. Change your mindset, change your life. Change your mindset, change your life.
I agree.
Okay, that's my 2 cents.
I like that though. Now, LaWanda said functional depression is real. It really is. I just felt like I was like just a walking zombie. Like I was not living. I wasn't doing anything. And all my my attitude will adjust to his attitude. Every time, this was my ex-husband, his attitude, every time he come home, my whole attitude will change to his attitude. Whether he was happy, whether he was sad, whether he was mad, that's what my attitude was because I didn't know. And we're functioning like, depression. That existing but not living.
Exactly. Exactly.
LaWanda said that's good. Yes, it's so true. But tell us now. You said that you were. And can you elaborate a little bit or tell us how you have overcome, how you overcame most of that stuff?
Well, as far as the depression was attached to many things in my life. And so how I overcame it is, and what it is, it came to a head in my life, to be honest. I was functioning in it fine, as far as no such thing as fine in depression, but I was functioning in it. And so it came to a head for me really when my daughter went to college, because at that point I was alone because she went away. Originally, she went away to college. So I then was left with my own devices. And nobody that I had to worry about, care for, do nothing for, and it was just me. in all of my situations. My therapist said I am the queen of avoidance. It took her a long time to get past the avoidance of me. And she said,
Wow.
I'm the queen of avoidance. So I can deflect. I can care for other people. Oh my goodness. I will love on you. I have a word for you at any time. I can encourage you. That's me. And as long as I don't have to deal with me, I can deal with everything else. And so when it came to a head, it came to the point I had to go to therapy. You know,
Mhm.
I know how to pray. I trust God. He is a healer. He
Of
is a
course.
healer. And I believe in all that he has done, all that he will do, and all that I will be and that I am because of him. I love God. But God also presented us with therapists and psychiatrists
Amen.
and psychologists. And
Yes,
so,
Lord.
so I had to go see one of his people.
You got
Okay.
that right.
And that's how I dealt with it. It took me a long time. My therapist, for a long time, I would just go sit in there and talk to her for a little while, but I wasn't opening up to her. I wasn't giving her anything for real.
Wow,
But
really?
eventually, as we built a trust relationship, then I began to let down my guard and let go of some things. And also as I began to grow closer to God,
Mm,
because, when I got into my church and was really vigilant about going to church, about praying, about
yes.
allowing him in, and less of me and more of him, less of
Mm-hmm.
me and more of him,
Yep.
you know, and opening myself up to hear his voice and stuff like that. That's how I got through it.
That's
You had to
true.
pray about it. And if you had to go see somebody, it's okay.
Yep. It's definitely okay. And that's how I found my third husband. And I say I didn't go looking. I didn't want to be
Uh-huh.
married again, but that's how I
Okay.
knew truly that God sent him to me,
Mm-hmm.
because we've been married we've been together almost 20 years now and married almost 16.
Oh, wow.
So I
Congratulations.
know for a fact that it wasn't someone that I chose this time,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yes.
know. And like as I mentioned before with on one of my other podcasts, because we talk about domestic violence a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um I I had to get myself together first.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me a 2-year break before I actually met my third husband. So
Okay.
once you get yourself together, everything else will fall into place.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
what I believe. Everything else will fall into place if you get yourself together.
I
But
believe
we
that
have to
too.
get ourselves together. I encourage anyone to go to therapy. I've been there 3 times, and that was
Yes.
we have to talk to somebody. I mean, just like you said, we can talk to God, but
Mm-hmm.
he's given us these tools and these
Yeah.
resources that we must, use as well.
Yeah.
Uh, Hazel said, "Hey Hazel, me too. Can't wait to see you August 21st." Now Hazel has a table also, so
Okay.
Hazel
Hi, Hazel.
joining us as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she said, "Congratulations to you."
Thank you.
And Lawanda said she believes it. Okay, so tell us, um, now, have you written any other? Are you going to write any other books? What do you have that's in your plans coming up?
Well, I am. I'm writing, like I mentioned, about the I am. That's a book that I'm currently working on. I also have in the pipeline another poetry book that's going to be coming out. I
Nice.
am sitting on the idea of joining the next anthology with Dr. Hall. I'm leaning more towards it. So if I join it, I'll be letting y'all know about that book. But
Okay.
that I will be doing it. However, for myself, in the next month, maybe month and a half, I will be going out and seeing if anyone would like to join in the anthology that I will be the visionary author for. And
Beautiful.
so I'll be probably, I'll put it out there. I'll have a website.
Uh-huh.
So I'll put it out on my website, and I'll put it out also, Facebook and Instagram, to see if anyone would like to join and give the parameters for it at that time.
Nice. Now, a lot of people don't know what collaborations are. Can you briefly tell us a little bit about collaborations and how they benefit others?
Okay, well, one, a collaboration allows you, if you're thinking about becoming a writer and you just haven't been able to step out on faith yet, if you're not sure if you're ready, a collaboration will help you begin that process, because you'll only write in a chapter of a book. And
That's
so you
right.
can begin by releasing whatever it is whatever it is that book is about, or whatever, you can release that, and then from that, actually, you can expound on it. That's one thing from the
Yes.
book. When I did this collaboration with The Purpose in My Pain, that chapter is so much more that I
Mhm.
had to say, that I had chopped down to fit the parameters of the book.
Yes.
And so that can be actually another book for me. And
Yes.
so also what that does is allows you, like, I am considered a best-selling author because of The Purpose in My
That's
Pain.
right.
That is a best-selling book. And so because of that, it allows you also the platform of the person that's the visionary author. So that also gets more people to know about you, get you out there a little bit more. And so that's the main things that it
Right.
does for you. And again, but the biggest thing is it allows you to get started in your writing,
I
if that
agree.
is your desire.
I agree. So my first two books, well, excuse me, my first book was the memoir, but then I
Mhm.
was in two collaborations after that. And
Okay.
the collaborations, they I just like you said, by writing a little bit, you can
Mhm.
expand on that to create a whole nother book.
Mhm.
And I always tell people one book is, you know, like an avenue so that you can create other books, or that you can create other avenues as far as speaking engagements. You can
Yes.
it just opened up so many different avenues just by having a book. And that's what I really like about just us authors, period. you know
Yes.
you I just like everything about it. That's why I continue with the arts and authors, because just having these books. Oh, who wrote this? Just Shell.
Listen, I love her now.
She said, yes, that is so good. Sharon Gold, they're about why you should get involved with others. And you never know what kind of relationships God had waiting for you when you join in collaborations. That is the truth. Thank you, Shell.
Yes.
I saw
Yes.
that pop up. I was like,
And let me, and I'll speak to that. Shell
yes.
is my friend because I met her through a collaboration.
Wow.
However, I met God used that platform for me to connect with her, but she stuck with me. She's stuck with me now.
I
You
have some
know,
lifelong friends from
and that's God
collaboration.
purpose. That's God purpose.
It
Oh, I
is.
have a T-shirt that's going to be out in the beginning of September. I'll be putting it on my
Oh,
website.
oh.
It says I was trying to have it by the event, but right now they don't say it'll be in my house before the event. But it says press into purpose,
Like
and
it?
so Romans 8:28 is there, and so that and I it's so important to press into purpose. God has purposed us.
Yes,
God has purposed all of us. He has a
I
purpose and a
agree.
plan for us. And we have to begin to tap into that thing, because
We do.
ultimately the purpose of our lives is to edify God and to bring people to his kingdom. But
Yes,
in that, God has given us a purpose also to just touch people, reach people, love on people, and show who Christ is through how we present
that's
Christ
right.
through our actions. You know what I mean? So,
That's
yes,
right. You see her, I'm putting up these comments for you to read. It's so true.
yes, it's very
But
important.
so I know we always have a lot of aspiring authors here. What would you tell aspiring authors or someone who is interested in writing a book?
I would tell them to just do it.
Yep.
Do it fearfully, but just do it anyway. Do it with doubt, what you know is not of God. Cast that thing on down and say, I'm gonna do it anyway.
That's
Because
it.
trust me, when you step out there, you're going to be amazed at who you touch.
That's it.
Again, if you only touch one person, that one
Service
person will
purpose.
touch one person, and that one person will touch 10 people, and that person, them 10 people, gonna touch 100, and then 1,000. You
I
never
agree.
really know what stepping out on faith will do for you and for the next person.
I agree.
So do it in fear. Do it in fear and write it out. Write, listen, journal, 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 journal.
It's you have to, well, that's how I wrote my first book, by journaling. I always carried a calendar. Calendars are my
Yes.
thing. Calendars and planners. In which
Okay.
I combine one. That's what one of my latest books that I came out with,
Okay.
because I didn't want two separate books. I didn't want a calendar by itself and I didn't want a planner. So I combined them.
Okay.
And I wrote down, like, even till this day, I write down what happened that day, da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I came up with my memoir. So I took that calendar, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what was my base for writing the first book. So people just don't realize calendars and planners are very important, because you never know if you're going to write a book one day. You can use
Yes.
it. So you never know.
Write it
But it
down.
really helped me. You have to write it down.
Writing it down makes it real to you.
It
It's
does.
one thing to have the thought in your head, but when you write it down and you looking at it, write it down and stick it next to you in your office or on your wall or on your mirror, you know, and then it becomes real. It gets into your spirit. It gets into your
Yep.
soul. If you write it down and repeat it to yourself every day, somewhere where you're going to see it every day
Yep.
until and when it comes to writing a book, until that book is done. And then when
That's
that book's done, write another book. You
yep.
know, just keep going. Like I'm speaking this to you, but I'm speaking it to myself. You
Yes.
know, sometimes you got to pour out to somebody else in order for it to stick
You
to
do.
you. Because
Listen,
those
and it
of us who
works.
are servants, those of us who are covering, those of us who know how to encourage others, we always forget to encourage ourselves. There's a song, what's that? The Clark sisters, speak over yourself, encourage yourself. Listen, what
Yep.
Ayana used to say, heal yourself.
It's so true.
and
Well, I used to do
listen.
that with my affirmations. Every day I would put an affirmation online, but people
Mm-hmm.
thought that I was preaching to other people. No, I was actually putting the affirmation down because I was talking to myself.
Yes.
But if those affirmations related to other people, then just like you said, it helps somebody.
Yes.
If it can help one person, then your job is done. So I love my affirmations, and I always like to encourage and inspire people, and that's why I do all this stuff and I do what I do, because I love helping people and I love inspiring other people, because most people think it's hard to write a book. And I keep telling them it's not. The hardest part is putting pen to paper.
Yes. Yes. The hardest part is getting started. The hardest part is getting started. You know, and know what else? The devil knows your weaknesses.
Yes.
He knows the negative self-talk, and he plays into that. Nobody's going to buy your book. Nobody wants to read what you wrote.
Yep.
You don't have nothing to really say of importance.
Yep.
You know, I can speak that because he spoke it to me. So I can speak it. I know what he's saying to you, but you know what? If nobody else wants to see what you wrote, I want to see what you wrote.
That's it.
I want to know what you got to say. You listen. What you know, when you walk down the street, how many times do you speak to people? You know, we're in a society now where people mind their own business and stay closed up, don't really have nothing to say. But do you know that hello, that how you doing, that smile might be to make a difference in somebody? Like somebody might have been thinking of on their way home, I'm going to take my life. And
That
you walk past them and you say, how you doing? God loves you. Or just how you doing? I hope you have a wonderful day. That was all they needed to say, you know what? Wow, that lady just spoke to me. She saw me, because evidently, you know, he or she might have been feeling unseen.
Yep.
That person saw me because they said, how you doing? And that made them change the trajectory of their lives.
That's it.
I'm telling you, I love God. Listen, this whole conversation got me excited. You know now, because I'll be honest, I was nervous because I was very nervous about
a smile does help, Linda. Yes, it does.
But God has a purpose and a plan. I love God. I love what he does. I love the connections. He is really placing people in my life. He is really just doing his thing. He don't need my help. And it's been years. Like one of the things I talked about on a different time was the comparison. A big,
Yes. Yes.
big for some reason with me, that comparison little thing jumps in my shoulder. But you know what? I'm not, who am I comparing myself to? I am beautifully and wonderfully made. I am the child of a king. There is legacy right here in Desha, and can't nobody do what Desha can do. I am unique. It is only one of me. He knows every hair on my head. So let me stop comparing myself to other people. Get thee behind me. You know what I mean? And that's for anybody that's listening. Understand this social media world that we live in. You getting on social media, you seeing so-and-so doing these things. Because, you know, I want to be a speaker, but I haven't yet got a bunch of speaking engagements. But one day the Lord gonna bless me with some speaking engagements because I got a word. He got something he want me to tell some folks. So somebody going to invite me to their church or to their convention or to something, the Boy Scout meeting, something. They're going to invite me somewhere. Okay. I'm going to pour into those people. Okay. And I love him for being purposeful because he definitely is connecting me with people and connecting people with me. You know what I mean? Because I have something for somebody too. I can help somebody in some kind of way as well.
Yes, you can. Know? Well, you're a beam of light, and I enjoy it. Look, Shell said Desha came with fire. She said, "Thank you, sister, to both of you for sharing this." Look, when I don't even know, Desha, how did you know find out about the Arts and Authors Talk? Tell her, Shell.
Because Levon, I was part of one of his author cafes.
Yes.
And I think you might have spoke to him or you might have said something underneath one of his things one day.
Yes.
And I started following you. And so that's how I found out about it.
And that's what it's all about, these connections. Yes. And just like you just said, you're going to find these engagements. And if you don't find them, they're going to find you.
Yeah.
We're going to find you. Y'all are cutting up like
it's the Holy Spirit. I don't even know where all that came from.
Well, at the Arts and Authors Extravaganza, you will get a chance to get up and speak again. So you make sure you come with the fire.
Okay. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
You said talk, girl. It's so true. But people need to hear this. It's inspiration. Yeah. They have to hear this. You know, some people, like you said, they do not know. And first of all, they don't know Jesus. If you,
but we got a word for that too. We can help them with that. Too. Okay.
But if they knew, they wouldn't. You know, we all go through something. We all go through something. But you have to get to the point where you have to say enough is enough. Mm-hmm. And once you do that, and you hear different things like these little podcasts and hear different people speak, hopefully, and read their books.
Yes.
They can overcome.
Yes.
That's what we need. Pass me the mic. Oh, Linda will talk for days. Look, we don't have to worry about her. We don't have to worry about her. But when you come out to the event, if any of your the people that are, you know, in that book, the collaboration, if they want to come out and come up there and join you, feel free. Feel free. Okay. We know some folks who can help there. That's what Michelle said.
We got some people that can help them know Jesus. All right.
But yes, I'm excited to have you there. I'm excited to read your books. I'm really excited to find out more information, especially about your poetry. But can you recite some of your poetry for us, please? Can you share something with us?
What let me see what you want to hear.
Just like Shell said, it's a box of chocolates. You give it to us.
All right, let me see. Okay, so this is called Blessed Talent. I'm not sure. Listen, this is where it fell at. So this is where we're going to go.
Okay.
So, My mind moves a million miles a minute. Sometimes words come too fast. My pen doesn't keep up. I lose my train of thought. Yet I keep chugging along. Another thought is sure to come, be it pain, hurt, sadness, joy, happiness, peace. The words are sure to find me, for they yearn to be free. Just like you and me, expression is the key. Oh, what words have done for me. Healed my pain, shared my joy. Words gave me an ode to my little boy. What a great feeling when you've been blessed to use words in such a way that you touched another soul. Thank you, Lord, for my talent. I pray I use it well.
Wow. That is beautiful. One more.
Yeah.
One more. Just one more.
Okay, so let me see where page is on. I'm going to read to you Daddy's Little Girl, which is the one I told you about with my coworker. So I'm going to read that to you. So it says, I forgive all the dances you missed. I forgive all the good night kisses I didn't get. I forgive all the talks I needed to have. I forgive the I love yous you never said. I forgive the phone calls I never received, all the birthday cards I never did see. I forgive your shoulder for not being there when I cried. I forgive you for not being here to tell me I was beautiful when I couldn't see my beauty through my own eyes. Today, I forgive it all, still hoping that one day I will hear you call me Daddy's little girl.
Oh, wow. That's so beautiful.
Thank you.
And I love that especially because I didn't grow up with my father. My mom was a single mom since I was, I think I was 4 when they split up.
Wow.
But, my dad is still, living. He's not in my life the way that I will hope that he would be. But, we have to forgive. We definitely forgive.
Yes, and you choose that. And forgiveness does not have to look like, I forgive you, we're going to be together all the time, we're going to hang out, we're going to... No, that time has passed. However, either one, I can love you from a distance, or we can build from this point as adults, two adults speaking and getting to know one another. We don't have to be besties. You know what I mean?
It's cordial, cordial relationship,
Exactly.
Hi every now and then. Because this is one thing that I had to think about, which, I think I heard it on an Oprah show or something like that. But she was saying that the life that my dad and my mom lived was not, I can't understand what they went through. So why am I going to have any kind of bitterness or feel any kind of way about him, because I don't know what they went through. I mean, I can only know by the things that were told to me, but we all have something that we deal with. So I can't hate my father because I don't know what they were dealing with.
Yeah.
So, but I just know that he wasn't in my life. So, like you said, we can love from a distance.
Yeah. And he may not have known how to love you, and may not know how to choose you, because nobody ever instilled that in him. And and that's one of the things I talked about when I talked about forgiving my mother. She's never going to see things the way I see them. My truth is not her truth.
That's right.
She can't do certain things with me because she's still bound in the past. She's still holding on to her past. You see what I'm saying? And so what I choose to do instead is to extend her grace.
That's
right. I
right.
extend her grace. And I love my mother, regardless of all the things that happened in our lives and all that. I love my mother, and I respect her as my mother, and I forgive her. And you just got to say, hey, no matter, sometimes you go through things with your parents and it's like you just don't understand. Well, you know what? Because sometimes your truth is not their truth.
Yeah.
And that's okay. As an adult, it's okay.
Exactly.
Took a long time. I'm 52. Took me a long time to get here, but that's okay.
Yes. And I say the same. And, you can't expect for your parents to, they can't, like my mom, I'm just going to say it. I have to use her as an example because that's my mom. Yeah. I knew the things that she went through with my father and, the abuse and all that kind of stuff. But she can't expect for her kids to hate my dad for the things that he did because of the fact that that was something that they went through. It wasn't something that we went through. So we can't, I don't think that parents should inflict their hurt
and their pain
and pain on their kids and expect for their kids to feel the exact same way because we weren't the ones that was hit. We weren't the ones that were. You get what I'm saying? It's exactly a tough subject, but
because that's her truth and her perspective, and it was her pain, and you can't be attached to her pain because it was not you. But what we can do again is that word grace. We can extend grace. And even if she may seem angry or get angry with you, just say, Mom, I understand that's your truth and I understand what you went through. I can't really fully attach myself to it because it wasn't me. But Mom, I love you and I support you in whatever you need to move on.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's
what we have to do.
So I can see why your friend was crying with that poem because it can relate to a lot of us.
Yes.
A lot of us. And especially we had so many single mothers back. I mean, I'll be 52 in May. So I'm there with you. So I know. And most of the time we were raised by our moms. Yes. Nowadays you got the fathers raising these kids. You know what I mean? Yes. But back in the day, it was mainly our moms. So that's a touchy one. It's not fair to the children. It's not, Linda. It's not.
That's true.
But I loved it. I love that. And I love that, you actually put all your energy into that poetry because like I said, a lot of us don't know how to write the poetry. We don't know how to write the poetry, but we have the feelings.
Yeah. I thank God. I thank God for the gift. I thank God for the ability to use words. So people that cannot articulate how they feel or their thoughts, he uses me to do that for them. And I am so grateful and overjoyed that he chose me. It took me a long time to get to the point where I could say, I'm grateful. Thank you, God. I do have a gift. I used to think he didn't give me anything. I said, so-and-so can sing, so-and-so can dance, so-and-so can do whatever. And Lord, what did you give me? But that was the young me and the one that truly didn't have a relationship with him or understanding. So I thank him for caring enough about me to keep on touching me and tapping me and saying, stop playing, Desha. I gave you something. Embrace it. And so I do. I fully embrace it. And I'm so grateful.
Aw. Well, I'm grateful too. And I can't wait to read the book. I am grateful too. And for those of you who had dads but still have to forgive all that, yes, that's so true. And speak through you, he does. Yes, he is speaking through Desha. Well, Desha, I'm just so glad that you were able to come on and share your stories with us. And let everyone know exactly where they can purchase your books or at least get in contact with you.
Okay, first, thank you for having me. I am so excited about Arts and Authors. Let me tell you, Kim, I must really be liking you or something because I have Fantasia tickets for that day. I bought Fantasia tickets.
I love Fantasia. She is my favorite female singer.
I'm going to have to gift them with something to somebody because I said I'm going to Arts and Authors, so I got to get these tickets.
Listen, I give you permission. It starts at 3.
Okay.
You better leave early. You better get the Fantasia. She is my favorite. I saw her one time, but I plan on seeing her again.
Okay.
And then my Keep Sweat is my favorite male singer. So both of them I was supposed to see them both on my birthday 7th, but she didn't show up.
I was there. I know.
Just had the baby.
It was the reschedule. Oh no, okay. Remember, it got rescheduled, and so the reschedule recently in AC, I went. Keith Sweat,
Well,
to me, and we're
Keith
there.
Sweat was there 7 because I was there, but
Fantasia wasn't.
Fantasia did.
Yeah, I was there too. I was there with you. See,
Oh, you
we
were
was
there
there
with me.
together. We was there together. So,
But yes, but
yeah.
I do want to go back and see Fantasia though. But you better
Okay.
leave early so you can
Okay.
go catch up.
Well,
Because
well, thank you very much. So I will see everybody on
don't be
August
selling no
21st at
tickets.
Author Authors. And if you would like to reach me, you can visit my website. It's www.desha, Desha, Henfield, Henfield.com. So www.deshahenfield.com. And on my website, you can purchase both of my books. And soon you'll be able to purchase my t-shirt as well.
Yes, I can't
And you
wait for
can,
that t-shirt.
yeah, you can follow me on Facebook. I'm Desha Henfield on Facebook. And I also have the Nora Sister page on Facebook, which is NOIRESISTA. And you can find me as Nora Sister on Instagram, NOIRESISTA on Instagram. And
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you so much for allowing me this time on your platform and on your show to speak life, to speak about your event, and to just thank God for who He is.
Oh, that is so wonderful. I really appreciate you. I knew I was in for a good show. I was like, because you have the same personality as me. And I thank everybody for listening in. All of Desha's information will be at the bottom of this broadcast. Make sure you go on to YouTube and like, subscribe, comment, because Desha and I, we still will be able to comment. Well, answer your comments and your questions and everything. And I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything. Shells, she said, thank you both. That was a fun and good conversation. Looking forward to hearing about the full event. Fantasia, yes. We need you to stop by Arts and Authors. I wish she could. I would love that.
She's gonna come at 4:00 before she go to her show.
Yes. Oh God, that would be lovely. Linda said, where is she going to be?
She's at the Robin Hood Del East. Well, is it called? No, it's called the Del East. She's at the Del East on August 21st.
Oh, right here in Philly?
Yes.
Oh,
on the
21st. I
21st.
didn't know that. Well, this was amazing. I enjoyed both of you ladies. Thank you, Marsha. I thank all of you guys for coming on and just staying with us till the end. And next week, well, you know what? I'm going to have it posted at the bottom who's going to be on for next week, because you know, Desha, what will wind up happening. But anyway, we have someone else coming on in 2 weeks because this is a bi-weekly show. And I just wanted to thank you once again, Desha. Is there any last and final words that you would like to say before we leave?
I just want to say that I hope everyone has a wonderful night. And I'll close with God. Just know that God loves you. I love you. And you are all blessed. And you all have a purpose. So press into your purpose.
Love it. Love it. I thank you all so much. And you all have a very great night. Thank you.